The difference between Black Americans and Africans is we don't give a fuck about what white people see us as or what white people think. We do not care. We don't worship whiteness. Not in 2025. When they threatened us with segregation, majority of us said, bring it on. We don't give a damn. We not walking up to them. White people care about Black people in America way more than we care about them.
Brothers and sisters, welcome back to Galerial Talks. Today, we're talking about something that's been trending big time on social media, in podcasts, and just in regular everyday conversations with one another. Many white people are confused about why Black people or African American people are ignoring, disengaging, and not centering them on things like culture, politics, and socializing. Let's watch these clips and I'll be back.
I don't even know, and we are all tired of the BS in America, man. We are all tired of this clown show that we are calling America. So, y'all know where everybody's in an uproar about this woman, Renee, who was murdered in broad daylight in front of everybody while people watched, recorded, screamed, yelled, tried to help. You know what I'm saying? Whole entire time, this terror group called ICE, that we keep saying they're not terrorists, but they're terrorists. They're American terrorists on the soil. They're just standing around, not even trying to help the woman, not nothing, right? And she ends up dying, right? And then the ICE officer who did it, mind you, are these people even actually officers, or are you guys just hiring random strangers to sign up for your cult and calling them ICE? Because the man left the scene, and everybody who is a police officer or some type of branch of the police force is like, that's a no-no. We know that if when a shooting happens or something like that, we don't get in a car and leave. I'm convinced that these people who keep saying that ICE showing up in masks and all this other stuff, these are just regular people with no credentials, no training, no nothing. Because that's what you see when you watch these videos. No training, no respect. It's like watching animals go after people. So today, this woman makes a post, and I'm going to put it so y'all can see it. And she was like, now mind you, it's to the Black people. Because every time something crazy happens, they always got to address the Black people, right? To the Black people, where's your outrage? Where's your voice for this woman? Oh, when your people die, you guys want people to be mad. But when our people are dying, when white people are dying, you guys are not mad. You guys are not sticking up. Where's your rage? Where's your compassion at? Who the hell's this lady talking to? Because where is y'all's rage and compassion for all the stuff that's been happening to Black people since we've been here? Matter of fact, since y'all's ancestors came here and lie, cheat, steal like y'all do everywhere you go. Everywhere you go to every country. It is not even just America that y'all are the problem. And I hate to say this, but I'm not even talking on my ASS, man. This is facts. Check every country. Y'all are the problem. Y'all go to every country, lie, cheat, steal. Even sitting here from America, all our country does is go to other countries and lie, cheat, steal, take their resources. Call them terrorists, criminals, and everything else because you want to pillage from them. I don't understand. Where's y'all's rage at when that is happening? Where's y'all's rage at for all these years when you watched us get lynched, beat in streets? You know what I'm saying? Watched our women get choked out by cops. Are you kidding me? Watched young Emmett Till get dragged off for whistling at a white woman that he didn't even whistle at. Where's y'all's rage at? Because the thing is, y'all love to have Black people's blood for your casualty, for your purposes, for your agenda and your game. But when it comes to us, nothing. We still got to shed our own blood for our own causes. Yeah. I don't understand that. And America is one of the only places where y'all want Black people to be your saviors, but at the same time, y'all hate Black people. We're nothing to you. We're scum. We're this, we're that. But when a situation arises, you know what I realized, right? When a situation arises, right, every group looks for Black people. Is that not crazy to y'all? That every time a situation happens, right, nobody says, where's the white people at? Where's the Mexican people at? Where's the Spanish people at? Where's the Panamanian people at? Like, there's millions of people in the world, right? But every time something happens to another group of people that's not Black people, the first thing that group of people gets online, gets wherever and says is, where's the outrage from the Black community? Do we all, I know we are made in our Father's image. But for some reason, y'all all think that we're a Black Jesus to you. But when it comes to us, y'all are the devil for us. I don't understand that logic and thinking. And for this lady who made that comment, all of us are outraged. Well, I ain't going to say all because I see a lot of nasty comments that should not be said. Y'all need to go back to your drawing board and start thinking about what your morals, your values, your respect, what you stand on. Because most of us, our stomachs are turning. And for Black people, baby, we've been going through this for the longest trying to tell y'all that. Since Rodney King and everybody else before and after Rodney King, okay? But maybe, just maybe, at the same rage you're expecting from us, y'all had every time a Rodney King situation happened, every time a George Floyd situation happened, every time a Breonna Taylor situation happened, every time a Trayvon Martin situation happened, maybe if y'all had that same energy for us, baby, we'd always show up and show out for you too. But instead, here's what y'all say. Oh, they should have complied. Oh, they should have listened. Oh, it's always that group of people getting in trouble. Oh, well, had he just put his hands up, like the officer said, he wouldn't be dead. So I guess in the same breath, right, we could say all that about this lady Renee, right? And believe me, I saw some people say it. And that is not my point because all those statements are not true. We've seen people comply, we've seen people listen, and we've seen them still die. It's the fact that these people are power tripping. So when someone is power tripping, even if you're bending to their will, it still may not be enough because they're power tripping. So my point of this random thoughts of a stranger rant is Stop always expecting people to be your black Jesus, because we ain't never had none of y'all be a Jesus for us. And we ain't Jesus, only Jesus is Jesus. But y'all understand my point here. Stop always expecting Superman out of us when y'all keep being Lex Luthor to us. And just maybe, if y'all had not sat around all this time while other groups of people went through different atrocities and you laughed at it because that's what y'all do, maybe if all this time y'all wasn't laughing and y'all was fighting and hollering and hooting with the rest of us, we wouldn't be this far into this racism, violence, heinous acts of crimes, and everything else that we got going on in America. But now that y'all are starting to feel the burn of this, because now I think y'all white people have come into the realization that you should have been coming into, that y'all are on the chopping block too. You regular white, non-billionaire people, right, that are not the 1%, y'all are on the chopping block with us too. Now you know. Now it's clear to you that you could get killed in broad daylight, that you could get killed and not come home, that your whiteness is not affording you the same privilege that you thought it had been affording you all these years. Is that the problem? Are you scared now? Because now you're in the same boat as us black people, Mexican people, all the people y'all keep calling immigrants and everything else, all of us other shades of melanated people, baby. Now you mad because you're on the chopping block too. The bells are ringing, aren't they? Ring the alarm, huh?
The whites don't even see you as American. They see you as second-class citizen from Africa. This is why they call you African American. The difference between black Americans and Africans is we don't give a fuck about what white people see us as or what white people think. We do not care. We don't worship whiteness. Not in 2025. When they threatened us with segregation, majority of us said, bring it on. We don't give a damn. We not walking up to them. White people care about black people in America way more than we care about them. We're not trying to get invited to their cookouts. We're not trying to force ourselves in their spaces. Not in 2025. That's not what's happening. White people are constantly minding our business and coming up to us and asking us questions and wanting to be included and wanting to be invited and wanting to know what we got going on. Have you ever seen Karen videos? White women, they be obsessed. Obsessed. Utterly obsessed. We do not worship white people like y'all. A lot of y'all uphold white superiority. You ever want to see what leave it up to one of y'all. We don't do that bootlicking shit over here. We don't care what they think or what they consider us. We know what's on our birth certificates. I know what it says on my passport. I know where my lineage comes from. I know where my ancestors come from. It's a psychological mind trick to think that white people are fucking superior to you. There ain't no motherfucking white person superior to me. That hatred, that shit is love. Love and hate lives on the same spectrum. They love us so fucking much. They're so obsessed that they turned it brewed into hate. A lot of it is envy, jealousy, admiration, inferiority. Not all. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. The fuck?
Lately, people have been assuming that I have white friends, and I have become more and more irritated because it's really offensive. And before you're like, oh, why is it offensive that people assume you have white friends? Let me show you the school I went to. I do rep my W gear at least once a week because I am proud of the school I went to, because I'm proud of myself for graduating. But this is the type of shit I had to deal with, and this is why I don't have any white friends, especially from W. Because what do you mean you held a visual for Charlie Kirk? These were the same people that were happy that Trump won that first election that he won. I had to walk around campus next to a whole bunch of white people with MAGA hats on. Do you know how comfortable that is for me? You think I could trust any of those white people that went to this school? So when people assume I have white friends, yes, I get offended. Because that means I would be a coon. And I never want to be labeled one of those. Okay? If I became friends with anybody from that white school, they wouldn't be able to be trusted. I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't trust them. Because if not them, their family. If not their parents, their grandparents.
Before we get into specifics, let me first give you a historical context. The first thing you need to understand is this. For centuries, Black Americans have been forced to center white people in the United States and have had their survival depend on how well they understood and could read the moods, expectations, and reactions of white people. Our ancestors had to have their voices, their opinions, their existence explained over and over again, and they had to perform extreme amounts of politeness to make sure that were safe in the presence of white people. In other words, when you see many black Americans today choosing to be silent, selecting their communities, deciding to cease suggesting themselves as focal points in certain arguments, or just not responding to every opinion, but something that isn't confusion, it represents evolution. Then many white people are starting to ask, why are black people no longer willing to teach us things? Why are they ignoring or blocking us? And why are they not arguing back anymore? Exhaustion is a reality for people of color. Over many years, black Americans have spoken about the realities of racism, police violence, microaggressions, redlining, mass incarceration, and cultural appropriation. We have created books, documentaries, marches, debates on panels, hashtags, and offered free classes via social media to demonstrate these realities. At some point, exhaustion from explaining these issues repeatedly to audiences that may not have interest in truly listening. This is not an exciting time for black Americans as there is growing trend toward prioritizing one-owned needs over others' needs. There are more black-owned businesses than ever before, and there is growth in number of historically black colleges, black musicians collaborating with black musicians to promote Afrobeats. The sharing of knowledge about the diaspora and a heightened focus on mental health in the black community rather than seeking validation from outside of the black spaces. Black Americans are investing energy into black spaces. This focus on self-priority can be seen as injection by those who have almost entered. In America society, whiteness has always been the default. White people are the default audience, the default consumer and voice. When black Americans create art movements and content that is not aimed at white comfort, it can be interpreted by some as attack on them. It is not hostility, it is setting boundaries because the boundary is ignoring you. Sometimes the boundary is silence, self-care and disengaging, protecting yourself. Another truth is that trust has been broken history in America, from the promises broken during Reconstruction, COINTELPRO to recent cycles in politics, where black people show up to vote in record numbers, but still very little structural change. Imagine how many black Americans have developed skepticism against the system based on their lived experiences. So when black Americans express we're going to focus on ourselves, this comes from their lived experiences. This isn't about hatred. This isn't about segregation. It's not about saying no white person can be an ally. They are actually white people who will listen and learn and act and not make it about them. Being an ally does not mean white people continually need to be reassured that they are allies. If you are baffled that black people are ignoring you, perhaps the question should not be why are black people shutting us out. The better question is, have we listened? Have we put in the work without needing our back slapped? Have we looked at the system that have provided us benefits? Here's the truth. There has always been a connection between black culture and black intimacy. If people love hip hop, it doesn't mean they understand how black America suffers from political fatigue. If someone is cheering on black athletes, it doesn't mean they understand the traumatic experience black Americans have gone through from one generation to the next. If someone is watching black content creators, it doesn't mean they have a right to request either or have the right to request to receive emotional labor from black content creators. Brothers and sisters, our power dynamic is changing. Black Americans are becoming more and more aware that attention equals economic power. Participation, engagement, economic power, all of this awareness means people are going to be a lot more delinquent when they spend their resources. Simple as that. Silence doesn't equal confusion. Silence can indicate strategy for those that are truly interested in understanding there is an abundance of resources to do so. For example, there are many books available regarding the history of African Americans. There are many community gatherings, conversations that take place through the cities across America and beyond. The difference now is that many Black Americans are no longer going to continue to volunteer professors. So, when you see the trending conversation about this topic, do not view it negatively. Rather, understand that this is a case of community reshaping its boundaries as it works towards the establishment of a new normal. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and share this with someone who needs context. And if you're new here, subscribe to Kelly Real Talks for more conversations centered on truth, history, and the global Black experience. I'll see you in the next one.